Loving Sai Ram and greetings from Prashanti Nilayam. When Lord God appears on earth in human form, innumerable are the ways in which he deals with his devotees. Yet, behind this apparent diversity of approach, there is always the same goal, which is to help the devotee to realize that God is within and that the same God is also without, everywhere and at all times. In today's talk, I shall, drawing from eighteenth, of course, narrate for you some incidents in which Baba came to the help of his devotees by appearing in their dreams. We know that our beloved Swami also does this from time to time. But after going through what eighteenth has written, it would appear that this strategy was adopted earlier in the Shirdi avatar also. I will begin with the story of one Lakshmi Chand, a clerk, who first worked in the railways, then in a press, after which he joined a Greek company named Rallis, which had branches in many cities in India, including in Bombay. The story we are about to hear is how this Lakshmi Chand came to Baba. Eighteenth says that Baba would bring anyone anywhere to him when the time is ripe. According to Panji, Baba says, quote, "My man, even if he be in another country or thousands of miles away, I shall bring him to me, tying a rope around his legs." End of quote. As we all know, everyone comes to Swami the same way when he tucks the rope of destiny and drags us to him. In that sense, there is nothing new to us. Anyway, let's find out what happened to this Lakshmi Chand and how he was dragged to Baba. At the time our story begins, this Lakshmi Chand was living in a suburb of Bombay called Santa Cruz. By the way, this is where Bombay Airport now is. One night, Lakshmi Chand had a dream in which there appeared an old bearded man surrounded by devotees. Lakshmi Chand did not know who this old man was, but he carried such an aura and radiated such compassion that without any hesitation and with much love as well as reverence, Lakshmi Chand offered his obeisance to this venerable old man, in the dream of course. A few days after this, Lakshmi Chand went to the house of one Dattatreya Manjunath Bijur, where Das Ganu was giving a musical discourse or kirtan as they say. As always, Das Ganu kept a big picture of Baba in front of him. Actually, that evening, Das Ganu spoke about the great devotee Tukaram. But the moment Lakshmi Chand saw the picture of Baba, his attention got riveted onto the picture. He heard very little of what Das Ganu sang and spoke. Lakshmi Chand's attention was all on the picture and the form it portrayed. A few inquiries, and Lakshmi Chand learned that the picture was that of Baba of Shirdi. Promptly he was seized with the irrepressible urge to go to Shirdi and have Baba's darshan. If the devotee is hungry for the vision of his Lord, the Lord too is equally anxious to see his devotee, and so he pulls in his own way. Thus, even as Lakshmi Chand was wondering how he could make the pilgrimage to Shirdi, how he would find the money to meet the expenses, etc., a miracle happened. One night around 8 p.m., Lakshmi Chand heard a knock on his door. He opened the door to find his friend Shankar Rao. This Shankar Rao wanted to make a pilgrimage to a place called Kedgaon to have the darshan of one Narayan Maharaj who lived there. But he also wanted to stop over in Shirdi on the way. So he asked Lakshmi Chand, "Listen, I am going to Shirdi. Do you want to join?" Lakshmi Chand's joy knew no bounds. He borrowed 15 rupees from his cousin, packed his bags, and soon he was on his way. Now this Shankar Rao was very fond of bhajans, and he and Lakshmi Chand spent a lot of time during their journey by train singing bhajans. For his part, Lakshmi Chand, a curious fellow by nature, engaged many fellow passengers in conversation. Finding that some of them were devotees of Baba, he plied them with questions and heard from them about their amazing experiences. Now, in that compartment were 4 Muslims who came from a place near Shirdi. They too confirmed to Lakshmi Chand that Sai Baba, who lived in Shirdi, was a great saint. The train reached Kopargaon, where Lakshmi Chand and his friend Shankar Rao got down. Just then, Lakshmi Chand remembered that Baba loved Goas and decided that he would purchase some for taking to Baba. They hired a tonga or a horse-drawn cart and started on the drive towards Shirdi. Their idea was to stop near the Godavari river and buy fruits there because that is where the vendors usually gathered. The tonga drove on and soon the majestic Godavari came into sight. They both were so elated by the beautiful sight of the river that they entirely forgot about purchasing guavas for Baba. Meanwhile, the tonga was moving away very fast towards Shirdi, which was then just 4 miles away. Suddenly, Lakshmi Chand realized with a start that they had clean forgotten about buying guavas. Now what to do? Just then, they saw an old lady with a basket running after their carriage. They stopped the tonga for her and were astonished to see that she carried guavas in her basket. Lakshmi Chand was overjoyed and started selecting nice guavas for purchase. After they had made the purchase, there were still some guavas left in the basket. The old lady said to them, "Please offer all this to Baba on my behalf." Lakshmi Chand now began to think. First, I had a dream. Then I saw a picture. Then I was wondering how to go to Shirdi. Then I wanted to buy guavas but missed the opportunity. Then this old woman appears from nowhere and sells guava to me. This cannot be random and isolated incidents. There surely is an invisible connecting thread. Lakshmi Chand and Shankar Rao arrived in Shirdi, went to the mosque, had Baba's darshan, and then performed puja to his feet in the traditional style, offering all that has to be offered according to the procedures prescribed in the scriptures. And do you know what Baba muttered while they were doing all this? He said, "Look at these fellows. They sing bhajans on their way and ask questions. What is there to ask others? They should see with their own eyes. And where was the need to borrow money to come for darshan? Cannot one have my darshan in other ways?" Baba now squarely addressed a question to both of them. He said, "At least now, are you satisfied? Is your heart's desire fulfilled?" Lakshmi Chand was knocked out for a six, to use a colloquial expression. New as he was to Baba, he was amazed that Baba knew all that had passed through his mind. The remark about borrowing money is an important one. Himmat Pant says that Baba disliked people borrowing money to celebrate festivals and for going on pilgrimages. After performing the puja, etc., and receiving a good lesson from Baba in return, Lakshmi Chand and his friend Shankar Rao went to Sathya for noon meal. That day, sanja, a sweet dish made of semolina, was served as prasadam. Lakshmi Chand liked sanja very much and he ate it with relish. Next day at mealtime, Lakshmi Chand was expecting sanja again as prasadam, but it was not served that day. He was disappointed to learn that sanja was not a daily item. However, on the third day, something interesting happened. Baba was in the mosque as usual, and Jog arrived in the morning carrying all the necessary items for the puja ritual that he performed daily in adoration of Baba. Jog asked Baba, "Baba, what should I offer to you as Naivedyam, the sacred offering made at the end of the worship?" Baba replied, "Jog, bring me a dish full of sanja for me right now. The puja, arti, etc. can wait." Baba's devotees were trained to obey instantly. Thus, dropping all the puja items in the mosque, Jog ran back home to have some sanja made immediately and brought the same to the mosque. He brought enough so that Baba could distribute to all present. Meanwhile, one by one, each devotee brought his Naivedyam as an offering to Baba. Baba blessed them all but declared, "Today is a good day and I desire that sanja should be distributed as prasadam. Bring the vessels here and distribute. Let all devotees eat to their heart's content." Meanwhile, Lakshmi Chand was very hungry and he was in addition also feeling some rheumatic pain in the back. At that juncture, Baba said, "I know that you are having pain in the back. I also know that you are hungry. So let's have arati so that prasadam can be distributed immediately. The back pain can wait." Once again, Lakshmi Chand was amazed that Baba had read his mind very clearly. Later that night, when Baba went to Chawdi, Lakshmi Chand went to see the ceremony. There, Baba suddenly had a big bout of coughing. Lakshmi Chand was quite upset and said to himself, "This surely is due to the evil eye cast by some mean person." Next morning, when Lakshmi Chand went to the mosque to have Baba's darshan, he found Baba talking to Madhavrao Deshpande, that is Shama. Baba said, "Shama, yesterday I had a severe bout of coughing. Could this be the result of an evil eye? Is it ever possible for a mere mortal to cast an evil eye on God? Can any harm ever touch God unless He has willed it to be so as a part of His eternal and unfathomable cosmic drama?" This casual remark addressed to Madhavrao was really meant for Lakshmi Chand, for whom this was one more demonstration of Baba's ability to read all minds. From that day, Lakshmi Chand's love for Baba grew by leaps and bounds. He would perform puja for Baba with so much love wherever he was. And when in Bombay, if he met anyone who was going to Shirdi, he would send through that person without fail incense sticks, camphor, garlands, and also some dakshina for Baba. Listen now to the story of a lady who lived in Burhanpur and whose husband was an officer in the postal department. One day, Baba appeared in the dream of this good lady and asked for khichdi, a dish cooked with rice and pulses, with some spices added. The lady woke up and looked around, but there was no one. Puzzled by the dream, she immediately began to narrate it to many whom she knew. Meanwhile, her husband was transferred to Akola, from where a trip to Shirdi was planned by the pious couple. Thus, one fine day, they arrived in Shirdi, had Baba's darshan, did puja, etc., and were filled with bliss. Days passed, but the lady had not offered khichdi to Baba yet. On the 15th day, she resolved she would not miss the chance, and at noon, when Baba had his meal, she brought the khichdi. But when she arrived, she found to her great dismay that the curtain had already been drawn and Baba had sat down for his midday meal along with a few chosen ones. It was a testing time for the lady. She had come all the way just to offer to Baba what he had asked her to give, in the dream of course. And now circumstances were conspiring to deny her that chance. She then did the unthinkable. She lifted the curtain and entered the dining region with her offering. Normally, one would have expected that people would have pounced on her and driven her out. But do you know what actually happened? Baba got up and took from her the plate containing the khichdi and started eating it eagerly and with great relish. Baba did not touch the food sent by many other devotees. Everyone was stunned to see what was happening. When Baba explained how he had demanded khichdi by coming in the dream of this lady and how she was here because he had literally asked her for that dish. Listen next to the story of a Gujarati Brahmin named Megha. Hema tells us that this Megha apparently came to Baba quite casually, but in reality, Baba drew him there because of Megha's association with Baba in earlier births. This is something that happens in the case of our beloved Swami also. Many devotees who come to Swami, dragged by him of course, tell Bhagavan, "Swami, I have at last come to you." And Swami replies, "No, Bangaru, you and I have been associated with each other many times in the past. That is why I have brought you here, so that we can be together again as in the past." Let's get back to Megha's story. This Megha met Sathya, a devotee of Baba, while Sathya was serving as an assistant collector in Kheda district. Since Megha appeared to be a very pious man, Sathya asked Megha to join his household and perform puja daily to Lord Shiva. Though Megha was a Brahmin, he had fallen into undesirable ways and began to neglect the duties enjoined in the scriptures. His association with Sathya, obviously willed so by Baba, brought Megha back on track, especially when Sathya made Megha chant the Gayatri mantra. As Megha began to serve Sathya, their mutual affection grew. For Megha, Sathya became his guide. Later, Sathya came to Shirdi, where Baba not only accepted Sathya immediately, but also gave him ample opportunities for service at Sai's lotus feet. One day, Sathya told Megha, "Listen, I wish very much I could go to Shirdi and bathe Baba with the waters of the holy Ganges. However, right now I am unable to go. I want you to go instead to Shirdi on my behalf and wash the lotus feet of Baba. Go and worship Baba with mind, speech and action. Megha then asked, Sathya Sahab, can you tell me to what caste this Baba of Shirdi belongs? It turned out that even Sathya did not know the answer. He simply replied, Megha, I have no idea to what caste Baba belongs. All I can say is that his ears are not pierced in the traditional Hindu style and that he lives in a mosque. This put Megha in a deep quandary. He was convinced that Baba was a Muslim, which meant that he, Megha, a pious Brahmin, could not worship Baba as a guru. At the same time, he did not know how to say no to Sathya's request. To say no would hurt Sathya very much, and that was something that Megha did not wish to do. Eventually, Megha yielded to Sathya's pleas and went to Shirdi. Having arrived in Shirdi, Megha then made his way to the mosque, and even as he was climbing up the steps, Baba began his leela. Picking up a stone and wearing an angry look, Baba shouted, How dare you put your step on this mosque? A Muslim lives here. You are a high caste Brahmin and I am a lowly Muslim. If you come here, you will be polluted. Go back this very minute. Onlookers watching this scene trembled, while for poor Megha, it was as if Shiva was standing before him in his fiercest mood. Of course, we all know that Baba was merely play acting, and deep inside Baba was full of love as always. Megha was not aware of all that, at least during that first encounter. He was terrified and at the same time wonderstruck. How could Baba know his innermost thought? That was his problem. Megha made a hasty retreat. He made many attempts subsequently to come to the mosque, but every time he faced the wrath of Baba and went back. Later, Megha returned to his hometown where he came down with high fever. He became bedridden, but the thought of Baba was constantly on his mind. When he became well, Megha returned to Shirdi and stayed on. He was already devoted to Lord Shiva and now he saw Shiva and Baba. Sai now became everything for Megha, day and night. And he constantly chanted Shankar Shankar while having the vision of Sai in his mind. He was always doing puja to Sai Shiva. The Bilva leaves are considered sacred for Shiva, but there was no Bilva tree in Shirdi. So Megha used to walk miles to get leaves from trees in the outskirts of the town. After performing puja with leaves thus obtained, Megha would go to the mosque, sit at Baba's feet and press them. Soon a detailed routine became established. After finishing the rituals at home, Megha would go to all the temples in town and perform puja there. Having finished them all, he would then come to the mosque where he would offer the noon arati to Baba, which became his privilege. One day there was a break in this routine. That day Megha could not offer worship in the Khandoba temple. Listeners might recall that this Khandoba temple was where Sai was identified by Malsapati when he returned with Chand Patel's marriage party many years earlier. Now getting back to the Megha story, try as he might, Megha was not able to open the Khandoba temple to enter it. Reluctantly he gave up and went to the mosque to offer arati to Baba. The first thing Baba said to Megha was, Today there has been a break in your routine. Go back to the Khandoba temple, perform puja there and then come here. Megha replied, Baba, I did go to the Khandoba temple but I could not go in. I tried to open the door but could not. Baba then said, Megha, that was then. You go now and see again. You will find the door open. Finish the puja there and then come here. Megha went as commanded and sure enough this time he could open the door of the Khandoba temple. He finished the puja there and came back to the mosque in a much calmer mood because now there were no lapses in his daily routine. Baba then allowed Megha to do puja and offer arati to him. Megha now became well established in Shirdi, worshipping Baba in his physical form in the mosque, regarding Baba as the very embodiment of Lord Shiva. Thus it was that on one Makara Sankranti day, Megha developed the desire to perform Abhishekam to the physical body of Baba by applying first oil, sandalwood paste, etc. in the traditional fashion, and then washing with sacred water drawn from the Godavari river. Now Lord Shiva is associated with the Ganges, and for Megha, Godavari was Ganges. Thus it was that he wanted to get water from Godavari. Now, an elaborate ritual like this cannot of course be done without Baba's explicit permission. So, Megha pestered Baba for quite a while till he got the okay. On Makar Sankranti day, Megha got up well before sunrise and started walking towards the Godavari river. The round trip involved about 25 kilometers. Megha resolved to walk the entire distance and bring water in a big vessel, and he did not carry an umbrella to protect himself against the elements. Such was the intensity of his devotion. Megha went, brought the water and poured it into a copper vessel from which Baba would normally take water for his bath. This day it seemed as if Baba was delaying his bath. It was noon, the noon aarti was over, and many devotees had already gone home. Megha pleaded, Baba, noon has come and gone, everything is ready for the bath, please do come. Baba held Megha's hand in his own and said, really Megha, I do not want this bath with Ganga water. Why does a fakir like me need Ganga water? This of course was all a part of Baba's Leela. Megha, however, was not prepared to listen to all this. For him, Baba was Shankar Bhagavan, and Shankar is pleased when he is given bath with Ganga water. Megha then said, Baba, today is the auspicious occasion of Makar Sankranti. It's a great blessing to give bath to Shankar on this day with Ganga water. Please allow me to. Baba then said, all right, let your wish be satisfied. Bending his head before Megha, Baba said, just put a little water over here, pointing to the top of his head. Baba continued, the head is the most sacred part of the body. If you sprinkle a little water there, it is equivalent to giving a bath to the whole body. That is what Baba told Megha. And do you know what Megha did? He said, all right, Baba, and simply poured the whole water on Baba, shouting, Har Har Ganga. Megha was very pleased with himself for what he had done. He then put the vessel down and looked at Baba. To his astonishment, he found that while Baba's head was wet, the rest of his body was dry. The clothes showed absolutely no signs of having received water. Megha's pride was humbled, and he realized, as did many devotees who were watching all this, that man may propose anything, but in the ultimate analysis, it is God who disposes. One more Megha episode, and I am through for this week. This happened about a year after Megha came to Shirdi and had almost settled down there. It was the hour of dawn one morning. Megha was in bed. His eyes were closed, but mentally he was fully alert. Suddenly, Megha saw the form of Baba. Not just that, Baba actually spoke to him and said, Megha, draw a Trishul. Trishul, by the way, is a spear with 3 heads that is carried by Lord Shiva. After saying that, Baba showered a bit of consecrated rice on Megha's head, and he then vanished. Megha now opened his eyes and looked around. There was no one in the room, and he began to wonder whether it was all a dream or a bit of hallucination. Just then he saw rice grains lying on the ground. That meant that Baba had actually come there into his room and blessed him by sprinkling sacred rice. Megha then looked at the door and found it was locked. He wondered, how could Baba have come inside when the door is locked? This, by the way, is what happens to many devotees of Swami also. They would hail Swami as God and yet wonder how he could do this or that. I mean, if he is God, then can he not do anything? To get back to the Megha story, he rushed to the mosque and narrated in detail everything to Baba. Baba then said, what is this vision you are talking about? Did you not hear me saying that you must draw a Trishul? By calling it a vision, are you trying to evaluate me? Megha apologetically replied, Baba, in the beginning I thought you had actually come, but when I found that the door was locked, I thought I had experienced a vision. Baba then said tersely, no door is necessary for my entry. I have neither shape nor size. I am everywhere, always. Megha returned to the Vada considerably chastened and began to draw a picture of the Trishul next to the picture of Baba he already had. Next day, when Megha went to the mosque, a devotee from Pune came there. This Pune devotee lovingly offered to Baba a Shivalingam. Baba took that lingam from the Pune devotee and said, "See, this Shankar has come for it." He then gave the lingam to Megha, who was choked with emotion. Thus it was that Megha had Shiva in the form of Baba and a picture, a drawing of Trishul made on Baba's command, and a lingam given by Baba to complete the Shiva adoration. What comes out at the end of it all is Baba helps people worship their favorite god, the Ishta Devata as it is sometimes referred to, but at the same time also makes them see that same God in him also. Someday I hope Radio Sai would be able to compile such stories relating to our beloved Swami, who is none other than Shirdi Sai come again. I do hope this series on the life of Shirdi Baba helps you to see the strong parallels between the two successive incarnations, the Shirdi Avatar and the Sri Sathya Sai Avatar. Thanks for listening. If you have any thoughts or comments, we welcome them. Jai Sai Ram.
शिरडी सजाचे लागतील पाय, टळती अपाय सर्व त्याचे. माझ्या समाधीची पायरी चढेल, दुःख हे हरेल सर्व त्याचे. जरी हे शरीर गेलो मी टाकून, तरी मी धावेन भक्तासाठी. नवसास माझी पावेल समाधी, धरा दृढबुद्धी माझ्या ठाई. नित्य मी जिवंत जाणा हेचे सत्य, नित्य घ्या प्रचित अनुभवे. शरण मज आला आणि वाया गेला, दाखवा दाखवा ऐसा कोणी. जो जो मज भजे जैशा जैशा भावे, तैसा तैसा पावे मीही त्यासी. तुमचा मी भार वाहिन सर्वथा, नभे हे अन्यथा वचन माझे. जाणा येथे आहे सहाय सर्वास, मागे जे जे त्यास ते ते लाभे. माझा जो जाहला काया वाचा मनी, तयाचा मी ऋणी सर्व काळ. साई म्हणे तोची झाला धन्य, झाला जो अनन्य माझ्या पायी. झाला जो अनन्य माझ्या पायी, झाला जो